Do I have the same kind of flexibility in every remote job? Are all the remote jobs the same? If you're not asking yourself this question, you should, especially if you're considering a remote job. My name is Juliana Rabi and I help professionals to land a remote job faster. I had this kind of conversation with several of my clients. They think that all remote jobs will be the same and they might look the same from the outside, but once you get to know better the company and the job itself, you understand that there are different options out there. Some of them might suit you, but some of them might not be exactly what you're looking for. So let's talk more in details to understand if all the remote jobs are exactly the same. The answer to the question, are all the remote jobs going to offer me the same flexibility, is no. Sorry to tell you that. Actually, I'm not sorry, because knowing that will give you way more power in the recruitment process to understand what you want and what companies are offering, so you go for the right match for you. Some companies will allow you to work from the same time zone. What does it mean? That you have to be in the exactly same time that the company is. Let's imagine that the headquarters, the main office of your company is located in London. So you could work from London, but you could also work from Portugal, for example, or any area that has the same time zone. This is one option. So the company will probably mention that at some point, that you should work within the same time zone. Some companies also say like plus 2 or less 2 hours. So if you are in the London time zone, for example, you could also be 1 or 2 hours after that or 1 or 2 hours before. So every company defines in a different way, but this is one of the requirements that remote companies can have. They might ask you to be available to work always within the same time zone. This is one option. Another kind of flexibility that remote work companies can offer their employees is to work anywhere in the same country. So let's imagine that you're working in Spain. You have a Spanish contract, you work remotely, but you must stay in Spain. So it doesn't matter which city in Spain you work for, as far as you are working in Spain. You cannot work from any other country, only within the country, but anywhere in the country. The third option is that the company tells you that you can work from anywhere in the world. So time zone is not a problem, location is not a problem, so you have 100% flexibility to work from wherever you are. Of course, you still need to meet the deadlines, and eventually you might need to attend a meeting in a certain time zone that might not be the best for you, but the company will give you 100% flexibility to work from wherever you want to work. That is the important thing to understand, because some people might assume that, well, if I'm working remotely, I can work from wherever I want, in the time zone I want, in the time I want. And no, it's not like that. So a big mistake that job seekers do when they are applying for remote jobs and doing the recruitment process is assume they know what the company is looking for. Don't assume anything. Don't do that. That's not gonna help you in the process. You better check on the job description first, because sometimes it's very clear there. You just don't pay attention, or you didn't know it was something important in the process. So read the job description to see if the company mention in a very clear way which kind of flexibility they are going to offer regarding the working hours. Check the job description is the first thing to do. The second option is that you talk to people who are currently working in the company, or people who worked before, and ask them about it. Maybe you know someone working in the company, maybe you can reach out to someone on LinkedIn, maybe someone can introduce you to someone that worked there, so you can directly ask someone that is a current employee or a previous employee about how does the flexibility regarding the working hours work. And the third option is that you ask about that. You bring this topic to the table when you are in the recruitment process. Please don't assume you know, don't take for granted that remote job means I have all the flexibility that I want to work whatever I want. I can travel, I can be anywhere, I can work any time zone, in the day, in the night, in the afternoon, I can do a 3 hours lunch break. Please don't assume that, because you might put yourself in a big problem. Now that you know already that not all remote companies will offer you the same flexibility regarding the working hours, make the most of this situation. First of all, understand which kind of flexibility you are looking for. What do you want to create the lifestyle and the career you want to have? Some people tell me, Juliana, for me, it's enough to be able to work in different cities within my country. I'm not really planning to travel much or to travel abroad. So I'm happy being able to work in different places within my country. That's perfect. So maybe this is more than enough to you, and that's it. Just understand what the company is offering and check if it makes sense to you. Other people, when they choose a remote job, what they want is to be able to travel more or to live between 2 or 3 different countries for family reasons or for whatever reason. So if this is the case, make sure that the company you're applying for is offering you this flexibility, because otherwise the plans you have won't be compatible with what the company is offering you. You have the right to choose what makes more sense to you, which kind of flexibility you want in your working hours. And the company also has the right to decide which kind of flexibility they want to offer. So once you identify what the company is offering and once you sign the work contract, then it's done. I mean, it's way more difficult to change the rules of the game once you already signed the contract. So don't think that, oh, they are telling me I need to work only within the country, but I'm going to sign the contract and maybe later I'm going to try to convince them that I can travel a few months per year. I mean, you can do that, but it's way more difficult. So I would bring this topic up during the recruitment process. If you really care, if it's important for you, if you need to be traveling, if this is your choice, make sure the company knows that upfront. That's my recommendation, because it's easier to define the rules before you sign the contract. Once you sign something, you agreed with some conditions, but then you want to change the conditions during the work, it is still possible, but it's more difficult. So don't take for granted that you're going to convince your boss lately to do that. You can try, and having a great performance will only help you to have more arguments to do that, to have data to prove that, look, I'm a good employee, but I keep working for the company, but I want more flexibility. So you can definitely try, but don't take for granted that you're going to get what you want if the company already has a specific policy, flexibility policy regarding the working hours, and you want something completely different. Maybe it's easier if you try to find a different company that offers you the flexibility that you're looking for. Another thing is that some people get so excited that they have a job offer to work in a remote company that they don't really care about the details, or they forget to check the details, or they forget to see if that company, that job, the conditions are actually aligned with what they want for their career. So not all the remote jobs are amazing. Some are not that amazing, and some might be amazing for some people, but not for you, because they're not aligned with what you are looking for. So my suggestion is that you take some time during the job search to really understand, where are you now in your career path? Where do you want to go next? Which are your goals, your short-term goals, your long-term goals, the option that you have, and how to get to where you want to get. Maybe it makes sense for you to have a bit of limited flexibility regarding the working hours, because the job offers so many other great things that are already an improvement to you. And hey, if it's the case, just go and enjoy the situation. But if you have clarity about what you want and the company is not offering you, and you know that already, why are you going to go for that job just because it is remote? So being remote won't solve all your problems. Let me tell you that. It's still a job. You still need to deliver results. You still have to, deal with your team, with your manager, and all of that. So the flexibility is an extremely important aspect when we talk about remote jobs. And probably if you're watching this video, you also want more flexibility. That's one of the main reasons why people consider starting a remote job. But now you know that not all the remote companies will offer the same flexibility regarding the working hours. So understand what you want, understand what the company you're applying for is offering, and check if there is a match. If there is, amazing. Just keep going, and fingers crossed that they are going to extend your job offer and you're going to start very soon. If you still didn't find a company that meets your requirements and the kind of flexibility you want to have, keep searching. More and more companies are going remote and offering amazing job offers. You're going to find yours.